So, and that's when I really started like discovering channels like yours more. I was watching Jimmy Dore more, but just getting into the more niche independent media, like seeing you on the ground and everything at protest and seeing a more nuanced take and opinion on things. And so that's why I was like, sometimes like I still get like tripped up and I'll go to your channel and hear you talk about certain things. I'm like, yo, that makes a lot of sense. And like compare it to where my thought process is with everything as well. So it's really dope to hear like you're coming up as well. And I guess like, have you ever like just been like stuck, like confused about things politically? Like, because I was watching one of your recent shows. I forget who it was with. It was with a young lady, and you guys were talking about how people are afraid to break through their biases when they get hit with alternative, or not alternative facts, but something that juxtaposes to what their beliefs is. Like, have you ever got to that point? Like, well, obviously you have, but what forced you to like kind of rethink everything that you thought was like unlearning everything you've learned already?
Great question. Like, where did that all start? So like in 2016 to 2017 is when, during the times when I started uh, listening to independent media, like, but the more popular ones. I mean, those were probably like almost the only ones at the time, right? Secular Talk, Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Dore, and all that. TYT, I heard that they were critical of Obama, although I didn't watch them like that pre 2016. But Jimmy Dore, he opened my eyes more about Obama, just like he did with you. Because at the time, like even while Bernie Sanders was running for president, I was like, okay, like Obama's still kind of good, but then like Jimmy Dore just like laid down the facts, all the shit that he's done. Instead of getting us out of war, he's brought us into more war.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking, that just made me question more about everything that I hear from that's popular, right? The popular narrative. That's the narrative that we should always be questioning. But also during late mid 2017, I stopped listening to political independent news. I was going through like some personal stuff in my life where I was feeling really depressed, really anxious. And so I was looking for more like self-help stuff. I found like some spiritual channels, and that made me question reality in general. We don't have to go too deep into like all the stuff that I learned from those channels, but um, I started reading more books that were recommended from those channels. Like there's a book called The Book of Not Knowing by Peter Ralph, and that just made me realize like the 90% of the things that most people know are just assumptions. They don't actually know that. It's just things that they've heard repeated over and over again.
Very true.
So whenever I hear something, I always tell myself, how do I know that this is true? Do I know that this is true because somebody told me? And it's just because it's somebody that I trust, and I'm just gonna take it for something as true, as factual, or should I question that and look further into it and then make up my own mind? That's how it should be, but that's just not how society's been indoctrinated, right? That's not how we've been taught to think. In schools, we're taught what to think rather than how to think, right? So it's really hard to break out of this way that we've been programmed to think. But that I don't know if that just gave me an advantage to when I started listening to political stuff again back in 2018. I started seeing, okay, who's actually questioning things more, who's actually presenting more evidence to back up their claims. And to me, like during those times, it was Jimmy, it was people like Nico, the Convo Couch.
Oh, they're all
Uh,
amazing, dude. I love Kyle
yeah,
Couch and Nico, man.
yeah, I love the fam. So yeah, like you should always be questioning things. So also what channels like the Last American Vagabond always says, like question everything. Like even things that I say on my show, I have to tell my audience. So don't just accept things that I say just because I say them. You have to question things that I say. I could be wrong. Um, so and then we shouldn't feel embarrassed to admit when we're wrong, right? but I
Yeah,
guess a lot of people have that pride.
we've been taught to like to not even I guess we have been taught, but it's like people are so afraid to just say I don't fucking know. Like like it's not, it's not going to hurt you. Like people aren't going to like, attack you over. Some people might, but fuck them. That's the way I look at it. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like 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 in my opinion, if you're trying to get to the truth, you shouldn't let the ego get in the way of that. And that is definitely the divide that I've definitely been seeing in like a lot of, politics and everything like that.